Alright, hello again, shalom, welcome. I'll start out with 2 Kings 8:1. Then Elijah spoke to the woman whose son who had restored, let me start all over. Then Elijah spoke to the woman whose son he had restored to life, saying, Arise and go, you and your household, and stay wherever you can, for the Lord has called for a famine, and furthermore it will come upon the land for 7 years. I would like to talk to you for a few minutes about man versus God. That this whole evolution theory, that everything of this is actually man versus God. Man is trying to say that this does not exist, that this is not the way it is, that it may be from the devil, but man has his choice to say, I believe or I do not believe. So, how would we ever even think we could win against God? How do we think that we can say that it was evolution, that there's a big bang, and some churches are even trying to, well, it could have been 7,000 years, it could have been this, it could have been that, but it specifically says a day. People do every day. They think they can disobey and be rebellious, and they do what they want and what their will is and expect to go to heaven. After living a life of crime, hurting others, and helping themselves to what they need, want, or in some cases is just what they think they want or they need. Let's search the will of God and find out what He wants. And that's what we really have to do. We have to find out the truth, and He tells us to study to prove thyself worthy. So we must study His truth, His scripture, and His word. So we must go on and read and study His word, and know that when He says something, and He says that He changes not, He's forever, He really is a forever God. We go to Jeremiah 52:2. He also did evil in the sight of the Lord, according to all that Jehoiakim had done. For because of the anger of the Lord, this happened in Jerusalem and Judah, till He finally cast them out from His presence. Then Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. Now it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, on the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon and all his army came against Jerusalem, and encamped against it, and they built a siege wall against it all around. So the city was besieged until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. So it tells us days and months and years. It doesn't say that this happened in 7,000 years. It doesn't say that it took that long. See, God sometimes literally means what He says. When He says He does not like sin, when He says that He literally abhors liars and drunkards and they're not going to enter in, then they're really not. So we have to look at ourselves and search ourselves in that spiritual mirror and know that He says, and that's the way it is. When it all comes down to it, honestly, that's truly the way it is. It's not our feelings, it's not our emotions, it's not what we like, what we dislike. It's what so saith Yahweh. So saith the Lord. If He says so, then we just have to adapt and do what He says, or we're going to have to suffer the consequences. Why truth matters. Truth matters to us because we need to know the truth. If we are following any other doctrine than His word, if we are letting people change the word, if we are letting it change because it fits you better, then we are going to be held accountable for those. And if we're not careful, if you're teaching this, then you're going to be held accountable for it. So let's study His word, let's get in there, find the truth, and know that the truth really does matter. And we really do have to understand that we cannot go against God, we cannot let others go against God, and we cannot hope to stand on any ground other than the ground that God has made. So we are not going to be able to say, well, I believe and that's going to get me in. We have to go with what the scripture says will make us to heaven. Because if you say you're a believer, and drunks say they believe and they know this and they know that, but it doesn't make them heaven. So shalom, have a great day, great evening, whatever it may be. May Yahweh bless you.